All right, welcome to Voyaga Sites office hours for Wednesday, February 4th, 2026. I'm Justin Hinkle, and if you have any questions along the way, feel free to drop them in the chat, and I will, I'll demonstrate anything you'd like to see. Excuse me. So kicking it off, Voyago Sites, it's kind of a done with you type of do-it-yourself site. We've got a help library with step-by-step instructions. We've got these office hours to show you demonstrations. And we also have a build-out feature too, if that's something you want to add on to your plan to have us set it up for you. But if you're looking to get your Voyago site, you just jump here, grab Get My Voyago Site on the homepage of voyagosites.com. And you basically, you fill out the information that'll be here. You'll choose your site title. Travel is awesome is your, site title. You're going to get this temporary URL, travelisawesome.voyagosites.com. And you can change that to a custom domain later. So that's something, something you can start working on this, especially if you have another site out there already that you want to transfer, to this later. You'll be able to work on this while keeping the other one up. And then you just pick out your template. So we've got 3 templates to choose from right now. The luxury jet setter template. And these are all mobile optimized, responsive for all screen sizes, ready to go for you. You don't have to worry about trying to figure that out while you're designing your site. Jump through here, the adventure ready template. Oh, hey, Casey, I have questions. I've been working on my website and have a couple things I need to figure out. How do I double a section that has 3 boxes, but I want 6? Excellent question. So we're going to jump out of here and we'll jump right into your stuff. We log in here. Okay. So I'm going to go to pages here and jump on the home page of my demo site. Which section is it? And I've got the same sections more or less. Do you know which section it is off the top of your head, or just any section like that? Scroll down. Oh, right here, the process. Yes, okay. So you want to double this and have 3 more of these sections. So we're going to open this structure up here in the top right-hand, maybe the one before that, the benefits, and maybe the one before that. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to open this structure up in the top left-hand corner. It's a stacked boxes, and it's going to show you all the different containers here. So if I go on this container that takes all these boxes, so if you can see that container, this one here, the pink outline is around all 3 boxes. And you can even do this drop down and see, okay, it's got 3 boxes in there. So I'm going to take that container, I'm going to right click on it, and I'm going to press duplicate. Now it made another one right below it. Same thing here with the process section. There's a container here. You can see it contains those 3 boxes that is containing all these. So that container, the pink line is around all 3 of them. Press duplicate. And now you've got 6. Yeah, I know it can get complicated. I understand that. And that's why we have these for the demonstrations, because, I wanted to make it as easy as possible when people want to do the extra customization, just be able to ask questions and see how it works. But yeah, so as now you've made them, a duplicate of the section, you can just go into each individual one here. Like that's now step maybe 4, 5, and 6. And you can edit the headlines for each one of them individually, and then the text boxes if you wanted to edit the text individually. And then same thing, the image, each image can be changed out. Any other questions or demonstrations I can do for you, Casey? When I first opened my website and the main pick is there, can I add a vertical carousel to the right side of it? Vertical carousel. I'm thinking, okay. Scroll up here. So let me think. I'm gonna actually go. Your website is Blue Heron Travel, I believe. Am I correct? Blue Wing Horizon. Sorry. Your last name is Heron, maybe. I don't know. Yes. Okay. I'm gonna go to exit out of here. We're gonna go look at your site, see how you've got it set up right now. But first, I've got to log out of the demo site here. Go to Blue Wing Horizon Travel. Dashboard. So let's see, you're looking to see a vertical carousel to the right of it so it doesn't cover the main, doesn't totally cover the main photo. Okay. Let's check this out here. So probably want to try an image carousel in this box. Let's add one to that container. I'm going to check the settings on here to see what we can do here. Show one. No. Okay, that's not a vertical carousel. So, or if you have a better idea, I'd like some movement with multiple photos. Okay. So this is just an image carousel right now. Excuse me. I was trying to see if it went vertical at all, but let's show you how this one would work. We'll grab some images. Let's see here. Want to center them, spacing. Content. Autoplay. So this is a way to do one right to left. Let me check out the other carousels we have here, because I understand wanting the movement. Let me check here. Okay. So Elementor doesn't have a native vertical carousel. They just have the horizontal carousels. I don't know if that works for you in this sense. The carousel looks incomplete. Yeah, I'd take this and let's see here. So we'd style it some. Let's see here, solid border around it. One of your primary colors. Some spacing. And some shadow maybe underneath. Background. I don't really like that part. Let's take a look here. The images we need to see here. Slides to scroll default, image stretch. Maybe larger images. In the size of the carousel overall. Because, yeah, actually, I just thought of. Okay, do this. Go. So this is showing the same images, unfortunately, because I just duplicated it, but like having one go. Here, let me get off of it here. Let me do the preview of what it looks like right now. Takes up a lot of room. I was gonna say have one go one direction, have one go the other direction. Speed it up a little bit though. It'd be definitely the images you want to choose here would be important. Like these are different. What I'm trying to say, these being different aspect ratios really kind of makes it off. Looks a little less clean. So I can mess around with it later. Where did you go at the beginning to start adding and editing the carousel? Okay. So first I clicked on this box here, the container of the right side of the screen here. And then I added the image carousel. And there's some different options here, like the loop carousel has some different, actually that one, you don't want that one. I'm sorry. There's another one here that will give you some different, like this media carousel. I think one of these. So this one is you can drag any widget in there. So let me drop one of these. And it gives you different settings for like offsetting the slides. To give them different looks, stuff like that. Trying to think of these carousels. You can play around with all of them. They're all a little different. The image one's straight up just images. I think it's the media carousel is what I'm thinking of. Yeah, the media carousel. So this one, you insert the slides like this, one at a time. So you click on item one and choose your image. And then the effect here, you've got some different things here that you can do as it rolls around like a cube. or fades into one another. Well, you can't tell the fade because cover flow. This one's the one I was looking for. This gives it a little bit more decoration, if you will. So if you went back into this one, the media carousel is what this one is. Let's choose some images so you can see how that works. You can add as many images and items in this as you want. And then we can take away the dots so that they don't need to see the dots necessarily. You can go to the additional options and say none. And so it doesn't have dots. And you can take off the arrows so people can just kind of see it, you know, speeding along on its own. You can change the speed on this autoplay speed right here and this transition duration. You can change the speed of those. You can do overlays if you wanted to put text on it or anything like that. You can adjust the height of them. And the width. So that's the slides. Oh yeah, I was going to show you the carousel just looks, you know, I'll say kind of regular like that. And you can do different effects like the cube. This is the one I was talking about. And that'll just start turning itself. But I think the best one is probably the one we were looking at just a second ago with the slides. So you just pick out, I can mess around with carousel in time. Other ideas apart from the carousel for movement that you recommend? Sure. Have you thought about video at all? Because I can show you how to upload a video to like the background. Okay, you haven't got around to that yet. So like in here, when you edit the container and you go to style and you can choose the picture, right here it says you can choose video. Now you can host your video on YouTube. You can upload it to the media here. So when I say upload it to the media, when you're at your dashboard, you go to the media here, add a media file, select the file. I'm going to go find a video in my, because I've got a ton. So you select your video, let it upload here. Yes, this is recorded. It's going to be on YouTube. It's going live to YouTube right now, actually. So you can come back and see these steps there. And then click on the video and it says file URL here. Copy that URL to the clipboard. Go back over to where your container is for the background here. Under that style, choose video and then paste the URL right in there. So now you've got a video playing in your background there that'll loop, and put this back into like that. That'll loop. So if we do the preview of that real quick. You can keep the video if you'd like. Consider it complimentary. I'll just leave it in your media library. You're welcome. Then yeah, the slideshow will continue to move here. But yeah, you can edit that with photos that you think would look good in here. Just give it, you might not even need the movement for it necessarily. Let me, you know, you could do that movement somewhere else on the page even. Because if you preview it without the slideshow. I mean, that's pretty, that looks pretty. Yeah, I mean, that tells me that's a video that says, hey, I want to be there. I want to do that. I want my toes in the sand. But I'm gonna unhide this carousel just so you can do it, like see it and see what carousel it was and stuff. And I'll publish this to save that video. Is that good for you? All right. So now, yeah, it's like that right now on your page. But yeah, you can use that carousel. It doesn't have to be up here. You could use that. You know, you could put things into it from a whole different area. Like if you wanted for credentials, for example, if you wanted to put credentials in the carousel like that, you could have like, you know, your Disney College of Knowledge or your, you know, Princess Voyages or your ASS or your Clea in the images that, you know, circle like that somewhere else on your site. You are the only one here today. So you're good. I usually only get 1-2 people tops at these because I know it's a time of day when everybody's working too. That's why we record and put them on YouTube for people to watch later. So any questions you ask is going to be totally helpful for someone else. I did the same thing last week for someone else. We went through her site and made some different edits, and those are able to be seen out there for other people to use. So if you have any more questions at all, I mean, we can go through and take a look. Sure. So testimonial section, we'll scroll down to that. So you've got this one hidden already. So if you want to hide this one, you click on the 6 dots of the container that, you know, that pink outline boxes the whole section there. So there's 6 dots. Go to advanced under edit container. Go to responsive, then hide on desktop, hide on tablet, hide on mobile. And you publish that. And now that section, nobody will see it until you're ready to unpublish it or unhide it. So when you're ready to unhide it, go back to that section on your editor here, go to advanced, responsive, and then just click these off to show. Hey, and when you're thinking about testimonials, think about like if you've ever planned vacations for family or friends, but just didn't get paid for it. You know, ask them how their time was. Ask them to give you a testimonial for that. I know a lot of people just starting out have done that because, you know, they are going through, that's how they got into this in the first place. They were already planning stuff. So they just weren't getting paid. I like your design. I love your colors and your font. Any tips from scrolling through your website? Let me take a look at it without the editor. Okay. Definitely include FAQs, even if you have to have like ChatGPT help you write them at first. You know, tell ChatGPT who your ideal client is, and you know, you want questions that they'll be searching for, because that'll help with your SEO. That'll also help with having better qualified leads, because they're going to get some questions answered here before they ever call you to actually make that a different page. It looks like a lot of people do that. Yeah, you can make it a different page too. Let's talk about making a different page. So exit to WordPress. So the best way to make a different page on here is to use the duplicate this option. So choose one of the, like a services page is pretty simple, I think. Press duplicate this. And it's going to make you a services draft. And press quick edit and just rename it your FAQs. And then when you go in there, so say edit this with Elementor. You can delete, make this FAQs up the top. You can delete these sections that are already in there like this with just pressing the X. I'd keep the ready to get started at the bottom, but then you want to add an FAQ section in the middle. Press that plus button. It's going to give you this blank area. Let's go back to your home page real quick. Before you leave your home page, you're going to right click on FAQs. You don't want to delete it yet. You just want to right click on the container. So on those 6 dots, you can copy a container, and you can do this with any container like this. So on the 6 dots, right click, copy, and then you'll be able to paste over here. Oops, I copied features, but same idea. Copy FAQs and paste into that section. And then you can do that like that. And then you can use this FAQ section. You can put something else here. You could put that image carousel down here, actually. The one that we were talking about up here. You could do one that's a little bigger down here at the bottom, of images that, maybe destinations you plan or your guys' trips, things like that. And so, yeah, when you're ready to get rid of the FAQs, you can press the X here, and then you can add, again, above the ready to get started, add anything in here like that carousel. Like, let's say we put a container, and then we wanted to add that carousel. I don't remember which one we had, but I think it was, so there's a carousel. This isn't the right one. I think it was media carousel is what we're using at the top. Yeah, we're using media carousel. So you just pull in media carousel like that and adjust the settings like the top one had. You want to go through here and choose like cover flow for that kind of effect. So it goes like that. And then, yeah, you could put anything in there you'd want, like, if you want to do destinations, you can put in, and the thing about this one too, like, let's go over, edit the items. So you can even put videos in here. If you had like trip videos, you can put small videos in here. You just want to put the video link in here the same way we did the video link from the header. So you put it in your media library and then copy the link in here. You can do slides per view. Right now, the default is 3. You can change this to, 5 is make it crazy. Like, it can be fun. Like, so it can decide, like, I can show you that up here. Like, if we had changed the slides per view, or am I missing that? How am I? Okay, I'm drawing a blank as to why it's an option down here. Cover flow, slides. That's really odd. Slideshow, cover flow. Okay, I'm not sure why it's not showing the option in our one on the top. It's the same widget, so it should be. But yeah, you can get pretty fun with it. So it can keep scrolling through there. Check this out, okay. Other ideas for your site. Let me jump out of this one. And I'll leave this as a draft for you. So just save draft so you can work on this and turn it into a full FAQ page. And you're going to want to add it to your menu later. That, I believe I have that in the help library to add to menus. You want to go to under appearance, choose menus, and choose the right menu, header, legal, and footer. So click header, select. And when you have the FAQ page published, it'll appear in this area. And then you can just click it and add to the menu, and it'll come over here, but it's not published yet, so it's not there to add. But let me go back to looking at, we'll leave this area. Let me go to your about page. I would go on this text individually on these headers and change that to white so they can see about Casey, because it's accessibility. It's just a matter of, that was the basic setting for the site. But definitely think about that, because I think the other pages had that too, like services. Yeah. So let me go back up here. Featured in awards and certifications. I think you said something, you're a certified travel professional on the front page, or I thought I saw that. Let me edit here, because you can't see this yet, because there's actually a carousel here too. Let me click on it. So what you want to do is, I'll add a few things to it just to show you the images in there. So this way you can see the carousel. What you want to do is add your credentials in here instead, and then rename the headline to something, cute, certified for your safety or for your comfort or something like that. I don't know, but put your credentials in here and they'll scroll by. So you do the same thing. You click on the carousel that's here, click on the little pencil up in the left-hand corner where it says, under images, and that's where you're going to be able to add to the gallery. So you can select these and take them away, and then add to the gallery and put your credentials in there once you've uploaded them. So let me go back out. And then you don't necessarily need this section too, unless it's something different than your credentials that you want to say, like you were featured in, some people are, local publications or something. You'll want to put that in there. Say, hey, I was in, and you could link it over to there somehow. Put the link in for, I don't even know what like Better Business Bureau maybe, or something, A+ rating and things like that. Once you get those, you can put those in this list, but otherwise you don't necessarily need that list. It's a separate box with icons, so you can list them out. You can delete the whole box, delete one or two of them, whichever works for you. You've already hidden meet the team, so that works. Your footer. So you'll want to go in your footer and also change this darker text to lighter text to be able to be read. You just click on each one. So if you hover over edit with Elementor and choose footer, it'll take you right down to the footer. And you can choose each box of text, go under style, and then put it into one of your lighter texts like that. What you want to do with this area that I've got highlighted right now, if you have a Google business profile, you want the same description of your business here as you do there. It helps Google line things up. So that's what you're looking for there. And then same thing here, just it's basically for Google. It's like travel agency in this location. For the map, click on the map, and then you put your location right here. I don't want to leave this. I just want to click on the map and put your location up here. Like, I grew up in Missouri, not that part of Missouri, but you get the idea. I'm in Colorado now. and that map will, again, it's something for, it's a Google map. It's linked to Google. It's reading it. It's something to help with local SEO, especially. And with your, right here, it says your business 2026, you highlight that, and it says edit heading over here, and the title is current date and time. Click on current date and time, click on advanced, and right here for your business, highlight that, and we'll put Blue Wing Horizon Travel. And now that'll be there. Yeah, excellent. I just don't know, you know, it all comes down to what you've seen as far as the help library, what you've seen as far as these go. I get that, and it's hard to catch up sometimes. You know, we've got clients who are doing full custom builds who, you know, life gets in the way, and you know they take a month off and, you know, get stuff situated over there and then come back. It happens all the time. So, you know, holidays especially, holidays killed us for getting behind, but thankfully we're catching up now. So, you know, a lot of people took the holidays totally off, you know, as they should, and refocus on their lives and families, and you know, now they're getting back to it and they're like excited to get into it again. So on your Facebook and in YouTube here, if you click on that and you click on each of these, this is where you put your link to your Facebook page, your YouTube page. If you have Instagram or anything, you just add item, go to the icon library, choose Instagram, and then you put your link for Instagram there. I'll leave Instagram in there for you then. And you can change the colors, the styles of this too, like the primary color, like that. Or, you know, anything else you wanted to change it to give it a little, you know, just to give it that offset from the darker background. I'll publish that footer for you so it keeps that in there. Do I look like I'm going down the right track with the areas that you can tell I've worked? Yes, absolutely. Actually, you do look like you've gone down the right track. You've really, let me go to the homepage. You're talking, you know, benefits to the client. You're talking, you know, kind of giving them imagery here. The only thing I'd include here maybe is who you plan it for. So think about, like, we plan vacations for who? Is it for families? Is it for, you know, retirees, couples, things like that? Families. Maybe in here, talk about, like, just say, you know, with your family under one of these character meet and greets with your family, you know, just something that tags on that family line there. I know it says busy families here, but sometimes people stop here. This is the only place that your website they might see before they scroll further. And you get 3 to 5 seconds to really tell them you're in the right place. So definitely you want to tell them, because you got benefits here for them. That's great. That's what they want. They want to know what's in it for them, but they also need to make sure that you're there to help them specifically as an individual, you know, whether they're a family or a retirees or whoever, you want to speak to someone. So definitely put families in there somehow, work that in there. You did good here. Benefits for them. The only thing I'd say here is, you know, put a negative in there a little bit. It doesn't have to be all negative. Like, the goal of vacation is to have a memorable and fun trip, not, you know, worrying about every last detail, you know, worrying about every last detail. That's all you need, even just to show them that that's what they have a problem that you're here to solve. How much do I make that yellow? How do I make that yellow script not jump around so much? I wanted to move it a little bit. I think it moves. I see what you're saying. Let's go to it. Home. Save and leave. So let's click on it. Motion effects, vertical scroll. Let's take it, oops, this way. Oh, don't want to go that high. Take it to the middle. And then you don't want it to go over the text at the bottom. So we'll keep it there. So preview that. Kind of like that. So that way it doesn't cover the text or go over the blue line at the top. It just stays in the middle there moving. Okay, I'll publish that for you. So if you do anything else like that, yeah, you just kind of experiment with this area. If you want it to not move so far at the bottom, pull the bottom up. If you don't want it to move too far top, pull the top down. All right. Let's see here. I like this. These are I'm assuming the types of travel you mainly serve. These are benefits for them. That's perfect. You're letting them know here's some outcomes you're going to get that, so in features, what you want to do here, this is the more boring stuff. The tangible stuff, like I have maybe if you're using Turn or Travefy, you have an itinerary app. That could be one of the features. So you say you get itinerary app here, Travefy. So tell them about Travefy's itinerary app. And then in this little blurb here, a benefit of that. So the benefit is that outcome, the thing that they get to relax because knowing every detail is in the palm of their hands. If you planned flights, you'd let them know they do that here. Or if you do transfers from like the cruise to the hotel and stuff like that, just those little things that are tangible. And then this paragraph underneath that little sentence is just a benefit of that feature, something that they get out of it. You always want to think about what they're getting out of everything, because that's what clients are looking for, is their experience. Same on your about page. With the what makes you different, your section here, or what makes Blue Wing Horizon travel different, you'd want to use this to tell them that your experience here, how that benefits them. What do they get out of it again? As a registered nurse, I know you've got attention to detail. And so every last detail is going to be taken care of for them, so they don't have to think about it. Let them know that. My wife's a registered nurse too. Excuse me. So that's how I know. And you are telling them that here too. You're creating customized seamless vacation where all they have to do is pack their bags. That's what they want. That's exactly what they want. The services page. So I'd use this to talk about, your three main areas, and you don't have to put this much text in it either. That's just, that's sample. Oh, wow. You have a lot of jobs then. If you're doing this on top of the telehealth and homeschool, that's intense. I'd say in here, something you could do, list the service. Like, I think you had cruises, Disney Nostalgic Magic. Talk about that. And then maybe a small paragraph and some bullet points of like things that they get specifically for that service. Like with Disney, maybe you're helping them with their, their touring plan through the park, or, helping them with their dining reservations, how to make those, things like that. Things that are specifically for Disney. Give some bullet points in there for that service. Same thing with the cruises and any all-inclusives, help them plan excursions, things like that. So give them a description of the service and then some bullet points, make it easily scannable for them, about what they're going to get as a feature of that service specifically that's maybe different from the whole, whole travel company as a whole from the front page. And then the process here too, you in the certifications, basically you just duplicate this from your other page. What it's doing is just kind of, if they jump to this page instead of going on the whole homepage, they still get that process. They still say, oh, it's really easy to work with this person. I'm going to schedule my consultation. Yes, you can. So if you have this open in the editor and you have this open in the editor, so you want them both open at the same time like this. Let's go to, so I think you've already taken the process off here, but let's say you wanted to copy it from the home page. If you had it here, you just click on the 6 dots of that container that holds it, copy, and go over here, whatever section you want to put it in, press the plus right below it, and then paste, and it brings it right over. I wouldn't say on every page. I like it on the services page, and it helps on the home page too, just because what it's doing is it's really telling them that it's easy to work with you. That's why we have like 3 steps. They schedule a consultation, whatever your call to action is. Step 2 is you do the work. Step 3 is they have this incredible experience. And that says in their mind, it's psychological. So, wow, it's so easy to work with this person. And that helps them buy into scheduling the consultation. They want that ease, because that's what they're looking for, is just easy. So you don't have to have it on every page. But that's where it does come in handy on the homepage too. Just before you get to features and testimonials. 3 is the best. 3 to 4 is the best, because we're keeping it easy in their minds. You get to explain to them the other steps, the other 3 to 4 steps, on the actual consultation call. Everything in step 2 is, I'm going to get you some itineraries. We're going to go through them. You're going to approve which one you want. I'm going to book everything for you. You're going to take care of that. And then that way they don't get overwhelmed too early in the process, because you're going to be able to reassure them by talking to them on the phone or whatever. Yeah. I have some seen 8 steps where they're like, I'm going to make 2 itineraries. We're going to send them to you. We're going to go through them. And then I'm going to go back, and, it gets complicated, and that complication adds friction in their mind. They get overwhelmed, and everything you want to do is make them feel less overwhelmed and feel taken care of. And then on your blog, let me jump to your blog page. Oops, I'm on the service page, blog page. So in the blog, you can rename the blog, something that, goes with you. How many pages to have total, or what should be a separate page versus on homepage? Only thing I'd put on a separate page would be that FAQs possibly. Or if you wanted to really go in depth on Disney by itself, copy the homepage and make a Disney page that looks like the homepage that's in depth like that. Does that make sense? Otherwise, the services page can do the job by doing that smaller bit of it. With your blog, this setup's pretty basic. It's going to show cards like this. I think it goes 3 across and then down in a grid as you add more blog posts. So there's not much you have to do here. You can add the photo to this card. So if you want to go to edit with Elementor, so the featured photo of the blog post can be added to the card as well. So you click this pink pencil, editing the posts, and let me see here. Scroll through here. Where is not classic card? I'm sorry, I'm blanking. There's one that says show image in here. Full content. We don't want the full content. That's the whole blog. Am I missing the show image button? I think I am. I'll find that and get it to you. But yeah, you can put the image. Oh, maybe this one doesn't have an image in it right now in the blog post. That might be the problem. So under posts, I'm going to edit that blog post, check it for an image. It doesn't have an image. That's why no image is coming up. So let's, toss the castle on there. I'm going to save that. Refresh, reload. There you go. That's what an image would look like on there. And the image resolution, want that a little clearer. There we go. So that'll make your post more clickable too. All right. I have to wrap this up. I have another meeting in 9 minutes that I have to prepare for. Do you have any other questions for me, Casey? All right. I don't see you type anything. I can't tell, I guess. There we go. Work on this over the next 2 weeks. I'll be back. Excellent. Thank you. Thank you so much. I can't wait to see your progress. I'll do this again. It's every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Mountain Time. And I thank you so much for coming today. And I think we did a lot of demos that'll be helpful to everybody. So that's great. But have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time.